Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Heading down to Irwindale first and foremost to pick up the new tires here going on the Tundra. And then we're going to pick the wheels up and then we're off to Arizona. We're heading down to get the wheels now over in Corona, about an hour drive up, 54 minutes away, and then we're off to Phoenix, Arizona. A bunch of driving, a bunch of taking care of business and making things happen. I'm stoked though, dude. I can't wait. Alrighty, the bag is secure. Let's roll. Alrighty, made a little pit stop here in the middle of nowhere. I really don't know where I'm at, but somewhere about 2.5 hours shy of Phoenix, Arizona. We're almost there. And yeah, no one's tried to rob me thus far of my loot here in the bed of the truck. Got the two wheels right here. Repulsor MT, rolling big power, 35, 12.5 wide. Keep in mind this too, we're getting some ride height out of the taller tires because every 2 inches in diameter you go is 1 more inch in ride height. We'll gain about 1.25 inches in ride height with the new tires on there, just going 35s. So pretty cool stuff right there. Yeah, I cannot wait to get everything dialed in. Westcott Designs is doing the alignment, installing the wheels and tires. It's about to be a full-blown transformation. I can't freaking wait. Let's see how the tires are holding up so far, if we can see any visible wear so far, and I don't. No, it feels good. So we're good. Let's roll.
Whoa, whoa, clear out the room, I'm coming through. They want to see what I'm about. Yeah, I
got. First and foremost, I have a firearm in the vehicle.
Why?
CCW.
CCW.
Yes, sir.
Where's it at?
It's in my center console.
All right. So, big old truck like this that
Yes,
you're
sir.
not used to driving because it's new.
Yes, sir.
You get a flat tire on the front because you run over something that's on my roadway. What's going to happen?
Nothing good.
You'll probably lose control. Slow down.
Yes, sir.
Slow down.
Yes, sir.
Slow down some more.
You got it.
Fair enough?
Yeah, absolutely.
We good? Be smart. Let's be safe. Let's stay alive.
Yes, sir. All right, welcome to Home Sweet Home for the next 2 days. The Embassy Suites by Hilton in Scottsdale, Arizona. Home Sweet Home. Okay, let's see if we can do this in 2 trips. The look of confusion as I rolled in with 2 giant tires, I was getting double and triple takes, probably wondering why I'm bringing tires to a hotel room, but we got them in, so we're good. Woo! Good morning. Ooh, no time to sit and eat. Threw my eggs in the cup. Let's roll. This appears to be the location. Tux and Speed, aka Cousin Brandon. Big truck guy now.
Fancy seeing you here.
He's got the big Ram 2500 now.
Yeah.
Back to the Ram.
Yeah.
From Ram TRX to the M2 to the M3 to the M2.
Yep.
Big Beamer guy, big truck guy now.
Yeah.
What are you getting done?
2.5-inch Carly leveling kit, and then some methods, and then 37.
We got some work to do.
I know.
Let's go. Made it down to Westcott Designs. Got Cousin Brandon and Mr. Jeff Westcott.
We appreciate making the drive out. Appreciate Brandon coming out from Tucson, Arizona.
Yeah, he's getting some stuff on the Ram.
Just a little bit. Just a little
something, something.
You already got your TRD Pro lift put in it.
That's
before
right.
you came out to visit us.
Yep.
We obviously, it wasn't aligned before you brought it here, so we're going to put your new wheels and tires on it that you brought along with you. We're going to then align it for you. We're also going to do a set of our Westcott 20-degree DOM TIG welded rock sliders for you. Let you guys see some of the different things we do here at Westcott Designs and why we do what we do and what we feel makes Westcott what it is.
Let's go.
We've been here now for a little over 4 years. March of 2019, we opened here. It was 3 of us. It was my wife, Josh, our engineer, and then myself. And I used to wrench on all the cars myself. Was not real good at it. Actually, I did all right, but it was hard to manage the phone, my cell phone for the phone calls, and to be working on the car at the same time.
Definitely.
It's a multitask. I don't multitask well. This truck here was our Sequoia. We built that back in 2017. It was a 16 limited. Realizing that I've been doing this my whole life, and it wasn't until I built that truck that realized, like, this is what I should be doing for a job. I just love it. Like, I live, eat, and breathe all this
We
stuff.
can tell.
Like,
And hey,
like, I could be
that's why I'm here.
So thank you. I appreciate it. I had people starting to ask me about the rear tire carrier, and they said, "Where'd you get that?" And I said, "We made it." And they said, "Well, could you make me one?" And then I realized there's only so many people want 2 tires on the back through a trailer hitch. And that's when we came out with our first product, which was our rack with a spare tire with a cooler mount. And these 2 tubes are in the exact same location as these 2 tubes. And you take the extensions off and take the pan off. And now this becomes a double tire carrier and a cooler mount at the same time.
Wow, all this stuff is made right
In-house.
here.
Everything is made in-house.
Yep.
Every single thing is made in-house. We even powder coat in-house. The only thing we do not do in-house is we do not make our own bolts, and we do not make our crossbars. If somebody decides, hey, I want to buy something from Westcott because I know that their attention to detail and their quality is at that next level, that we put all the time in R&D and design and everything that goes along with it to make it good for our customers.
Again, that's why I'm here.
Dude, thank you. I mean, it means so
I made the
much
trip.
that
And
you
it's,
decided
driving
to
from
buy it.
California to Arizona is nothing. I'm seeing guys come from cross country to you.
This and this are stock collars on Toyota's factory struts.
Yeah, these are factory
Yep,
colors.
this is factory collar on a TRD Pro. Here is our collar that replaces it. And you can see how much thicker it is. And we machine this whole thing in-house. It's doing the exact same thing, but what we've done is we've pushed the spring up from the bottom a little bit more, which in return gives us lift to the vehicle. Don't want our collar to ever, or our lift to ever cause failure on your vehicle or harm to the person driving it. So we know that if it's installed correctly, it will never fail. It's not going to cause failure. Typically do between 150 and 180 trucks a month out of the shop. You can see we have our own alignment rack. So I talked about our lift kits, about really dialing in our alignment specs, and we design them and test them and set them up at the alignment specs that we feel where the truck rides the best. The gas mileage is going to be the best, the least amount of wear and tear on your tires. This is the non-anodized collar here. It has our 1/2-inch shim spacer up here on the top. So basically, like we said, we're pushing the collar up a little bit higher, adding preload to the suspension, and then in return gives lift to the vehicle. The other thing is that when this thing compresses itself and goes to full compression, it doesn't coil bind.
Doesn't coil bind.
And the other nice thing about this, at full compression,
You're not hitting the coil on the upper control arm. You're not overextending your angles past factory limitations.
Correct. So,
and that's the best thing about this, because you can do a spacer all day long.
For sure.
Right there on the top, push everything
the
down, making the whole thing longer.
Yep.
And then what?
Then when you compress that up, and it's got that big spacer at the top, it compresses up.
You're missing bump stop. Yep.
This strut is already pre-bottomed out before it ever hits the bump stop.
And that's not designed for the weight.
It's not. The whole thing is getting this arm back up so it uses the factory bump stop. Now we do run a little 1/4-inch spacer here. Then a lot of times when this wheel goes up, the wheel would bottom out here on the flare here before it ever hit the bump stop. So, you know, sometimes I tell people, hey, you got to see how much upward travel you have to see what you're going to have there, so you don't blow the fender flare off the truck. But now on the downward, we're still pretty much at the same location at full droop when it's hanging here from where it was from the factory. And you can see here the brake lines still have plenty of movement in them. The ABS lines are still good, and all the angles are still within. And then the other nice thing is on the alignment, we can still get the alignment into where we need it so it still aligns properly.
With factory upper control arms too.
Factory upper control arms. The guys that like the new 22 and 23 Tundra, they need to thank this guy. And the reason I say they need to thank this guy is because this guy is head of engineering for the truck division. This guy actually is the one that designed the new Tundra. His name's Mike Swears. His truck has been shipped to us from Michigan to build originally the side exit exhaust, because that's one of the things that he's always thought we did an exceptional job. We decided we're going to build bumpers for it now, and we're going to build rock sliders for it. We're going to build our side exit exhaust for it. We've got Rigid on board with some of the new lighting. We've got Mito tires on board for some new tires on it. Make Mike Swears' truck just a little bit more special. We'll walk over to which was our first building that we moved into after the main building. So we get a lot of exercise around here. A lot of times here at the shop, I'll get home and I'll look at my watch and I'm like, oh my gosh, I got 24,000 steps in for the day. And a lot of it's running back and forth. There's so many intricate parts that go on here, and now having everything in house, makes it even more to be involved with it.
Definitely.
So this is Steven. Steven is taking all of our rock sliders, hanging them here right now, and then these are all going to get primer coated. So we primer coat everything that's steel in the shop, and that's just to make sure we get a very good bond when we put the texture finish over the top. This is our primer coat, kind of medium gray, super smooth coat. It kind of embeds itself into the slider itself. Sliders just came over from powder coat, and they're over here now. They'll go through an inspection to make sure that they are up to now with the powder coat on them, that are up to the level we want them to be. Those are your sliders out of the oven.
Those are mine right there?
Those are your sliders.
No way.
Those are your 20-degree deal and TIG welded sliders.
No way.
Yeah.
That's TIG weld too. Oh my gosh. Dude, look at that. Are you kidding me? That's clean, dude.
Over here, which is really cool, we talked about our lift kits and how many we do. These are part of the order for today. Actually, these are morning orders, and these are afternoon orders for the afternoon that'll go out. The boxes are all custom made.
Yep.
The presentation from start to finish for us is very, very important.
Yeah.
When you receive your product, we want to make sure that when you get it, you're like,
it's
wow.
the experience.
It's the experience. I'll take you up to CNC.
Cool.
And you can see the process on how things work.
So recycling all the scrap aluminum.
We do, every day. They come 2 to 3 times a week to pick up our recycled materials. Starts in a solid mass right here. So then what we do is we clamp this thing up, and then we come in and this rotates at a very high speed, and we go and machine this thing down to make it exactly what we want.
From a solid piece of aluminum.
From a solid piece of aluminum.
Wow.
So this process right here, so we've already cut the other part of it, which was, it was clamped like this, and we machined this on a lathe, and the seating, we machine that on the lathe, and then what happens is then it's put in the jaws over here. So then it's put in the jaws over here, and then we machine the top part, and then that's before it's machined, and that's after it's been machined. Back area here, we've got 11 full-time welders, and pretty much these guys weld rock sliders all day long, every day. I'm gonna show you something really cool. If I take this piece of tubing here, and you see the coping on how nice the coping is, and I take this piece of tubing, and I butt it up to this piece of tubing, you can see that the gap around where I'm holding it together, you can see that gap is absolutely consistent all the way around it.
Yep.
It's not like we did it with a hole saw. This was done on the laser.
Super
and this
even.
will ensure that when this thing gets welded together, that it has just as much weld and just as much heat that's added to this all the way around it. And then it's got just as much force when upward force is applied to it. So it makes it as strong as it's possibly gonna be. Let's do this. Now that we finished up in the shop and CNC and powder coat and stuff, let's head back over to the lift shop, take a look at your truck and see how it
Let's
works.
do it, man.
All right, let's do it. Look at like even the detail on the tire. I mean the detail. The little star here, the star here.
Yeah, you got a lot of
the R in the tread. You know, just like, I mean, most tires, they just, the lugs are on there. They don't have details like that in there.
No.
So, I mean, how long will it last? Who knows? But I mean, it's just like the little things on everything. It kind of all ties in together. And I even when I look at the lugs, they're actually stepped. Like they've got a slight step to them, almost like they went in and machined those. You know, I'm pretty sure they didn't machine those. They're casted in the mold. Can't wait to see it when it's all done. I mean, we're one step closer to finish it, getting the sliders on it.
Wheels and tires are on, yes, but we got something else coming. Ladies and gentlemen, just like that, she's all set up and done. Wow. Zero offset, so you have a little bit of poke right there coming up the fender side. On the TRD Pros, we have, what, 1.5 inches wider on both sides on these fenders. Can't get over the welds, bring it in close on the welds. All the way up to the front side, and they followed the body line here on the lower skirt with the slider. You have these really smooth edges, perfect welds, and a really nice textured finish to it. These things look amazing, dude.
You said, hey, I go, what do you want to do? Do you want to do zeros or do you want to do 20s and top plates, no top plates? I think you couldn't have picked it any better on that.
Unreal. Yeah, that's nice.
I drove your car around the parking lot, and I said it feels a little firmer.
yeah.
It does, and I can tell that because
The alignment wasn't done.
The alignment's not done yet, and I can tell because it's still trying to pull the wheels underneath, and it's not allowing the suspension. If you have, kind of example, if you've got the arms out at an angle here,
right,
it's a lot harder for suspension to go up and down.
Right.
But when you get the alignment straight, and then you can get the stuff to move up and down, it really makes a much smoother transition for the suspension to work fluently. And then the other thing is then when that happens, instead of it trying to lift itself by forcing the tires farther underneath, we'll get them to relax, and then that will actually lower the front height here a little bit. But that's a good indicator. I tell people, hey, measure the front and the back, and if they say, hey, my car sits 3/4 inch higher in the front than it does the back, and this is on like a limited or a platinum with the Hitachi's or
it's bad alignment.
The alignment's not correct because it's designed to be 1/4 inch lower in the front than it is in the rear.
Alignment matters. So get your alignment done right.
It is. It's all. It's the key to the whole equation.
For sure it is.
For sure.
Yeah, dude. So
man, does the truck
it does look good though, dude. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Everything. I love the fitment's perfect, dude. Like. So the zero offset on a 12.5 inch wide tire, 35 in diameter, with those sliders at 20 degrees looks really, really good all together, man. I'm loving it. So as far as rubbing goes, we'll find out pretty soon here and do some testing on that. But I'd say we're probably pretty clear. I'd say we're in the green, right?
No, liner's not been trimmed at all in the front.
Yeah, nothing's been done.
The factory pros actually tuck up underneath the front, so you don't have to tend to do anything there. With this 35, it leaves for a lot more room. The liner's pinned back here in the corner, down here in the lower hole.
The pros pin those back?
Oh, not on the pros. That's our kit.
Oh, you did that.
So
you pinned it back
here in the back.
Okay.
And then up in the front here, we don't need to shave the frame horn because we're running a 35. And I know we talked about running 37s on this, but I think the 35 is such a more practical.
It's so much more usable, I think.
Oh man, is it ever?
It's better on a lot of components, your brakes,
wear and tear on the brakes,
everything. Yeah. So
the other thing, stopping, everything. It makes a big difference. And someone says, hey, which way would you go? The 35 it looks still good. It has plenty of fender room, and the performance is still great. You had that 6-inch lift the last time, and obviously we're going. We went from one end of the spectrum to the other. We went a
little outrageous in that one, I will say.
And don't get me wrong, it was cool.
It was a show.
It was a show for sure. Now this is total practicality.
Exactly, that's what we're going for.
Total function here.
Yeah.
Everything about its function.
So I think if you guys want to go with something that's good for on-road performance, off-road performance, and just usable every single day in every aspect, really, this is the way to do it.
This is without a question the way to go.
So when I first reached out to get the kit done, I want to come down to you actually.
Yeah.
I didn't make it, unfortunately. I went down to 88 Rotors to have it done, which they killed it. Amazing job on the install. But I'm stoked to have gotten through to you because I had a couple questions about the kit. So I talked to you about it, and dude, you talked to me for an hour about every question I had, and I got to know the product really well and how you guys operate, and it was awesome. I felt like family on the phone already, and that was like another reason why I want to come down here and see you guys, because it seems like it's very. I feel like everyone that comes to you for work that drives from states and states away, cross country, is family. They're part of Westcott family. That's how I feel now too.
And that's
like
kind of
that was a great experience talking to you on the phone before even coming down here. It's been an awesome experience. Thank you.
It means a lot for you
this.
coming out here. You didn't have to, but I'm glad you did, and I'm glad we could have some part in your truck and and many good miles ahead of you.
I'm happy,
and it'll be great. I mean, I'm
gonna use it.
Super clean.
I'm gonna use this thing.
It's ready to be used.
My whole thing, dude, was like buying a TRD Pro. I've never spent this much money on a vehicle in my entire life, right? So I want this thing done right. And I think you're going to end up spending more money when you save money up front. See what I'm saying?
Sure.
Saving money costs you more money in the long run.
Absolutely.
We can do it cheaper, right? I can do a spacer kit. I can get that height. I can fit those big the big 35s on there, but it ain't going to last very long, and I'm spending more money on the back end. So I want it done right. I want quality parts on there, and just one and done. And I'm good to go with peace of mind too. That's a big one also.
Yeah.
I don't want to go out on the trail and worry about, am I going to blow out the CV angles? Like that's a big thing I wanted to avoid. And I think ultimately doing 35s also too was kind of the right call. Keep it functional. It looks good. I think 35s on the Westcott Designs lift collar, preload collar lift is just the way to do it. I think it's perfect. So
thank you.
This came out really good, dude.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming out, and this is awesome. The whole tire and wheel combination is great. This is the cleanest color combination there is.
The best way to go, I feel like, for
absolutely
keeping it simple and clean. But I'm not keeping it gray for too long. We got to go a little crazy with a little crazy.
Yeah,
a little crazy.
I'm excited to see
a new color is coming somewhat soon. So time for alignment.
Alignment. Let's get on the alignment rod
Get it.
and get you on the road.
Cool.
Again, thanks guys. Appreciate you guys watching.
Jacob from Westcott Designs. If you guys call Westcott, you might talk to Jacob. So this is Jacob.
How you doing, guys? I'm Jacob. Anything that you guys need, just give me a shout. Questions, comments, whatever it is. I just like to be helpful.
Yeah, you sure are. You
Right
sure
on.
are. I talked to you once, I think, right?
Yes, sir.
At least once.
Yep.
Yeah. This whole team's so helpful.
I want to take care of people, man. You know, it's an industry that
It's a family vibe here.
It's exactly
That's the best way I can put it.
Yep.
No matter who you call here, it's a family vibe for sure.
We appreciate you guys. We appreciate the business. We appreciate you guys showing us off and letting everyone know what we can do, man.
We're hyped. What a day. We both got dialed in today. The last one's here now, but say we go for a little rip, get some rollers with your truck.
Yeah.
Let's go, baby. I'm so pumped. No issues with rubbing at all, dude. You can't beat that. Very usable setup. Also, my voice is gone, I know. Next morning out here in Phoenix, Arizona. This weather's treating me right though. Sunny and what, 79 degrees right now? What's going on? Little bagel sesh right at the road. I met everyone at this table, I think, at the same time.
Essentially.
Like pretty much 16 years ago, roughly. Squad.
Oh God,
I just want to show us your crank windows. Don't be shy. These are a rare. That's a rare thing these days. This thing might be valuable low key.
Yeah.
It might low key be valuable.
Vintage.
How often do you see this anymore? Let me hit it one time. Oh no, she didn't. That's pretty. That's a rare item right there.
I know.
It might be going up in value soon. You never know.
Maybe.
So keep it. Keep it
is the new
Keep it another 10 years. Shoo! Came back to some really nice weather, that's for sure. But man, I'm home, pretty much home now at least. I'm a few minutes away. And I gotta say, dude, what a fun weekend. A very long, but also very short weekend. I barely slept, my voice is gone. But dude, amazing time. Nothing better than getting to, get your truck done and your cousin gets his truck done at the same time. Childhood goals right there. That's amazing. Definitely a moment for sure. But anyways, I drove the truck all the way home now from Arizona. I can honestly say, dude, it rides like a dream. Very close to factory, real talk. I mean, even though we put the 35s on there with the new wheels, mud terrain tire, which the mud terrain tires from Rolling Big Power ride super nice on road. I will say that. But considering having the new wheels and tires put on with that alignment done, I'm gonna just say this, dude. If you guys have any issues with your ride quality on your setup, get a proper alignment done. Get the alignment done, get it done right, because that made the ride quality better than it was before. And I thought it rode fine, but Jeff hopped in my truck himself, pulled it into his shop, and he was like, yeah, I can tell it's riding pretty rough. So let's get the alignment done and see what you think. And sure enough, dude, it's pretty impressive what a proper alignment will do. So everything's aligned nice. We have the factory up control arms and the preload collar there in the front, the 2.5-inch kit in the front, the one in the rear. Dialed. I highly recommend going through Westcott. If you guys have any questions or concerns, man, those guys love to educate. Very satisfied with the outcome of the job. The work quality is great. The quality of parts is unmatched too. I mean, these guys are no joke when it comes to their quality of their welds. Those TIG welds, I've never seen something so clean before. In case you guys don't know, dude, doing TIG welding is not for beginners, man. And for them to crank it out to the level to the level of quality, there we go, that they did, it's pretty impressive. So I'm very impressed with the rock sliders. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys on the next one very soon. Until then, peace out. Roll it down.
You're doing this on purpose.
No, not at all.
No?
We just want to say goodnight.
Oh, good
Good
night.
night.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks for coming.
Look at that, one touch and done.